Here is something nobody tells you at 22. You can do everything society told you to do. Get the job, show up, work hard, and still end every month with nothing left. Not because you do not earn enough, but because 5 quiet mistakes are draining your money before you ever get to keep it. And the scary part is this: none of them feel like mistakes. They feel normal. They feel like just being an adult. In the next few minutes, I am going to walk you through all 5, with the real numbers behind each one and exactly how to reverse them. Number 1 is the most expensive mistake you can make in your entire life, and almost everyone makes it. Let us get into it. Quick note before we start. This is general education, not personal financial advice. I am going to show you math and patterns, and you decide what fits your life. Here is the big idea for the whole video. Most money problems in your 20s are not income problems. They are default problems. A default is the choice that happens automatically when you do not make a choice. You did not decide to waste money. You just did the normal thing, and the normal thing is expensive. The good news is that defaults can be changed. And because you are young, changing them now is worth more than it will ever be worth again. That is not a motivational line. It is arithmetic, and I am going to prove it in about 90 seconds. So here are the 5 mistakes, from the one that cost you the most down. If you catch yourself in one of these, do not feel bad. That is the point. Seeing it is how you stop it. Mistake number 1. Waiting to invest until you feel ready. This is the big one, so stay with me. The story in your head sounds reasonable. You say, I will start investing when I earn more, when the debt is gone, when things calm down. So you wait, and waiting feels free, because nothing bad happens when you wait. But that is the trap. The cost of waiting is invisible, and it is enormous. Let me show you with real numbers. Imagine 2 people. Both invest $200 a month into a simple, broad index fund. Not picking stocks, not timing anything, just steadily buying the whole market. The first person starts at 25. The second person waits and starts at 35. Same $200 a month, same average return. I am going to use 8% a year as an illustration, which is a conservative version of the long-run stock market average. Past performance never guarantees the future, so treat this as a model, not a promise. The person who starts at 25, by age 65, ends up with roughly $700,000. The person who starts at 35 ends up with roughly $300,000. Same monthly amount, same investment. The only difference is 10 years. Now here is the part that should stop you cold. The early starter did not invest $400,000 more. Over those extra 10 years, they only put in about $24,000 more of their own money. $24,000 in, $400,000 out. That gap is not their savings. That is time doing the work. That is compound growth, where your money earns money, and then that money earns money too. This is why time is the one thing you have at 20 that a rich 40-year-old would pay anything to get back. And it is the one thing you spend without noticing. So what do you actually do? You start now, small, on purpose. Even $50 a month starts the clock. The amount matters far less than the start date. Open a retirement account or a basic brokerage account. Buy a low-cost broad index fund and automate it so it happens without you thinking about it. You are not trying to get rich this month. You are trying to buy time while it is still cheap. And if you have a job with a retirement plan that offers a match, start there first before anything else. A match means your employer puts in free money every time you do, often matching the first few percent of your salary. That is an instant 100% return, guaranteed, before the market does anything at all. Turning down a full match is like being handed a raise and saying no thanks. Yet huge numbers of people in their 20s leave that free money on the table every single year because signing up felt like paperwork for some other day. If that is you, that is the highest return 5 minutes you will ever spend. Now there is a second half to this mistake, and it is just as costly. It is waiting for the perfect moment. People tell themselves they will invest once the market feels safe, once the news calms down, once there is a nice dip to buy. But the market almost never feels safe. When prices are high, you are scared they will fall. When prices are low, you are scared they will fall further. There is no green light that ever switches on. That is exactly why the boring approach wins. You invest the same small amount every single month, automatically, in good times and bad. When prices are high, your money buys a little less. When they are low, it buys a little more, and you never have to guess right. The people who wait for the perfect entry usually spend years standing on the sidelines, while the person who simply kept buying quietly pulled ahead. And if a voice in your head just said, "I will set that up later," that voice is mistake number one talking. Let me ask you something directly. Be honest. How many times have you told yourself you will start investing next year? Hold that thought, because mistake number two is probably the reason you feel like you cannot start at all. Mistake number two, financing a lifestyle you have not built yet. In your 20s, there is enormous pressure to look like you have arrived before you actually have. The new car, the upgraded phone every year, the furniture on a payment plan, the buy now, pay later button at checkout that turns $80 into 4 easy payments of $20. Each one feels small and manageable. That is exactly why it works on you. Let us talk about the biggest one, the car. The average payment on a new car in the United States has been sitting around $700 a month. $700 every month for something that loses value the moment you drive it off the lot. A new car can lose around 20% of its value in the first year alone. You are making a large monthly payment on an asset that is actively shrinking. Now let us connect it back to mistake one, because this is where it hurts. Take that same $700 a month and imagine investing it instead at that same 8% illustration for 30 years. It grows to over $1 million. So the real price of the always having a car payment lifestyle is not $700 a month. Over a lifetime of car payments, the real price is a 7-figure retirement you quietly traded away for the smell of a new interior. I am not telling you to never own a car or never enjoy anything. You need transportation, and joy is allowed. The mistake is not the car. The mistake is the default of permanent payments on things that fall in value, while you own nothing that rises in value. That is the pattern that keeps smart, hardworking people broke. The fix is a rule you can say in one sentence. By depreciating things in cash whenever you can, and reserve borrowing for things that grow or that genuinely pay you back. A modest used car you own outright beats an impressive new car that owns you. Boring, I know. Boring is what wealth actually looks like from the inside. So far, we have covered the money you are not investing and the money leaving through payments. Now let us talk about the most expensive kind of money there is. The money you already borrowed. Mistake number 3, paying only the minimum on your credit card. This one is designed to trap you, and I mean that literally. Credit card interest rates in recent years have been sitting around 22 to 24% a year. That is one of the most expensive forms of debt a normal person will ever touch. And the card company gives you a friendly little number every month called the minimum payment. It looks like a kindness. It is the opposite. Here is how the trap works. Say you owe $5,000 on a card at around 23%. If you pay only the minimum each month, which is often around 2% of the balance, a huge chunk of every payment goes straight to interest, not to the actual debt. You can end up paying for that $5,000 for well over a decade and pay thousands of dollars in interest on top of it. You are not paying off the balance. You are renting it at a brutal rate, more or less forever. There is also a hidden cost here that most people never see. Carrying big balances and missing payments quietly damages your credit score. And that score follows you everywhere. It helps decide the interest rate on your future car loan, whether you get approved for an apartment, sometimes even the deposit you pay on your phone or your utilities. A weak score can cost you thousands of dollars in higher interest over the years, on top of the card interest you are already paying. So this mistake is not really about one card. It is about the price of almost everything you borrow for the next decade. And notice how this mistake feeds the others. While you are paying 23% to a card, you feel like you cannot afford to invest, which locks in mistake 1. It all connects. So this is the one to attack with urgency. High interest debt is a financial emergency wearing a calm face. 2 things help. First, Always pay more than the minimum, as much more as you can, because everything above the minimum goes at the actual balance. Second, if you have several debts, focus everything you can on the one with the highest interest rate first while paying the minimums on the rest, then roll that freed up money onto the next one. Some people prefer to knock out the smallest balance first for the motivation, and honestly, the best method is the one you will actually stick to. But mathematically, killing the highest rate first saves you the most. If you only fix one thing from this entire video, and you are carrying a card balance, fix this one. A guaranteed 23% saved is better than almost any investment you will ever find. Okay, deep breath. The first 3 mistakes were about big, visible money. The next 2 are quieter and in some ways more dangerous because you will not even feel them happening. Mistake number 4, spending every raise you get. This one has a name. It is called lifestyle inflation or lifestyle creep. And it is the reason someone can earn $30,000 and feel broke, get a raise to $60,000, and somehow still feel broke. Here is how it happens. Your income goes up. So, quietly, does everything else. A nicer apartment, eating out a little more, a slightly bigger car payment, which loops us right back to mistake 2. Each upgrade feels earned, because it was. You worked for that raise. But if your spending rises to meet every dollar you earn, then earning more never actually makes you wealthier. It just makes you a more expensive version of broke. You are running faster on the same treadmill. Picture it. You get a $5,000 raise, and it feels huge. But a nicer apartment quietly eats $2,000 of it. A slightly better car eats another $1,500. Eating out a bit more takes the rest. A year later, you earn $5,000 more, and you have almost nothing more to show for it. The raise did not vanish because you were reckless. It vanished because nobody told it where to go. The math of getting ahead is simple to say and hard to do. Wealth is not what you earn. It is the gap between what you earn and what you spend. A person who earns $40,000 and keeps $8,000 is building more freedom than a person who earns $90,000 and keeps nothing. The second person looks richer. The first person is becoming richer. Those are very different things. The fix is one of the most powerful habits in all of personal finance. Pay yourself first. Most people spend first and try to save whatever is left, and there is never anything left because spending expands to fill your whole paycheck. Flip the order. The day you get paid, before anything else, money moves automatically into savings and investing. Then you live on the rest. And here is the trick for raises specifically. When your income goes up, send at least half of that new money straight into saving and investing before you ever get used to spending it. You never miss money you never started spending. Keep a little of the raise to enjoy, so it does not feel like punishment, and put the rest to work. Do that with every raise for a decade, and you will not recognize your net worth. There is one mistake left, and it is the one that quietly makes all the others worse. Because without this last piece, one bad week can undo years of good decisions. Mistake number 5, having no system, just vibes. Most people in their 20s run their money on feeling. You check the balance. It looks okay. You spend. It looks low. You get stressed and stop looking, which is the worst possible move. There is no plan, no map, just a running sense of am I okay or not. And a system beats willpower every single time, because willpower runs out and a system does not. A system has 2 simple parts. The first part is a spending framework, so your money has a job before it arrives. A well-known starting point is the 50-30-20 idea. Very roughly, about 50% of your take-home pay goes to needs like rent and food, about 30% to the things you want and enjoy, and about 20% to your future, meaning saving and paying off debt. The exact numbers are not sacred. If you live somewhere expensive, needs eat more, and that is fine. The point is that every dollar gets assigned on purpose, instead of just evaporating. The second part of the system is a buffer between you and life, and that is your emergency fund. This is the mistake that turns a bad day into a debt spiral. Your car breaks down, or you lose a shift, and if there is no cushion, that surprise goes straight onto the 23% credit card from mistake 3, and now you are trapped. An emergency fund is the wall that stops that. It is not an investment. Its job is not to grow. Its job is to sit there, boring and safe, so that life cannot knock you backward. I actually made a full step-by-step video on how to build your first $1,000 of that cushion, even on a low income, at about $11 a day. It is the perfect companion to this video, and I will point you to it at the end. Consider it mistake 5 solved. So the fix here is the simplest of all. Stop running on vibes. Give every dollar a job with a basic framework, and build a small buffer so emergencies stay small. A plain system you actually follow beats a perfect plan you never start. Now step back and look at all 5 together, because here is the thing they secretly share. Waiting to invest, financing a lifestyle, paying only the minimum, spending every raise, running on vibes. Not one of these is about being bad with money. Not one requires you to earn a single dollar more to fix. Every one of them is a default. It is the automatic thing that happens when nobody makes a decision. That is the real insight. Being broke in your 20s is usually not a money problem. It is a default problem. The world sets your defaults to expensive on purpose because your defaults are somebody else's business model. And that should make you feel powerful, not guilty. Because you do not need a raise to change a default. You need a decision. The person who quietly changes these 5 defaults in their 20s, while everyone around them calls it boring, is the person who ends up with options at 35 when everyone else has payments. Same income, completely different life. The only difference is who set the defaults. So let us make it real this week. You do not have to fix all 5 today. Pick one. If you carry a credit card balance, attack mistake 3. That is your highest return move by far. If you do not, then go do the 90-second version of mistake 1. Open an account and automate even a tiny amount just to start the clock. One default, change this week. And here is the quiet trick that makes all 5 of these easier. Automate the good decision, so you only have to make it once. Automate the investment, and mistake 1 starts fixing itself. Automate an extra payment above the card minimum, and mistake 3 shrinks every month while you sleep. Automate the transfer to savings on payday, and mistakes 4 and 5 never even get a vote. Willpower is you fighting the same battle every single day, and eventually, on a tired day, losing. Automation is you winning that battle one time, on a calm afternoon, and then never having to fight it again. Set it up once, and let boring systems quietly build your future while you get on with your actual life. If this gave you a clearer picture of where your money has been going, subscribe, because this whole channel is about turning money from something that stresses you out into something you actually understand. And go watch the video on building your first $1,000 emergency fund next. It is the foundation that makes everything I just talked about hold together. That is mistake 5, solved step by step. I will see you in that one. Take care.